guys, Arcon here. Today we're going to be talking about the Hungarian Grand Prix. Now let me just say right now, that was the worst race I have ever watched in my entire life. I nearly fell asleep through that race. It was so boring. I usually give a rating out of 10. Now that deserves a 2 out of 10. They really need, I know it's Hamilton's favourite track to drive around. Yeah, it might be cool to drive around, but that is so boring. I've never watched a race so boring. Usually I can't take my eyes off of it. Like everyone says, oh, F1's getting boring now. But, fair enough, some races are a bit boring. But this one, oh god. Oh. Anyway, finally, let's get to the race. Finally! Yes! Come on! Finally! Hamilton finally went ahead in the championship. Now, it feels like forever. The last time he was ahead in the championship feels like forever. I don't know, like, it might have been the most boring race in the world, but it was nice to see Hamilton go ahead in the championship. I'm sure a lot of you will probably be really happy with that. I am, to be honest. I love to see Rosberg go behind in the championship. Nice to see him in his rightful place down there, especially on that side. If he's going to get on the podium, it's nice to see him over there, not on the top step, over there. I mean, Hamilton's having an amazing run of races. I think he's won 5 in a row or 6 in a row now, I'm not sure. But it's just amazing, and I hope it continues at this, because if it does, Hamilton's just going to streak away in the championship. But yeah, anyway, yeah, as I said, the race, I think I'll give it a 2 out of 10. Let me know in the comments down below if you disagree or agree with what I'm saying. Let's get on to what I thought of the race. So, the start of the race. Apologies for the background noise, that's my mum hoovering as I'm doing the video, like always. They always choose to do these things when I'm starting to do a video. But yeah, anyway, into the first corner. Now, it was a good start. They both, Rosberg and Hamilton, got off to a decent start together. Hamilton got off to a better start initially. He got off, I thought he'd taken the lead straight away, but then midway down the straight, Rosberg gained a little bit, but because, I don't know why, but because first position always gets the outside line, because that is the racing line, it's supposed to be the cleaner line, but most of the time second place seems to get an advantage, because if they get a decent start against first place, they get an advantage because they're on the inside. But anyway, Ricciardo, that start was astonishing. I mean, I thought he was going to take the lead of the race at one point. He went around the outside of Nico Rosberg. I know that isn't hard to overtake Nico Rosberg, but he went round the outside of Nico Rosberg, and he almost made it stick round Lewis Hamilton, but he didn't manage to make it stick, lucky for us. But then Rosberg managed to get it back, which was unlucky for Ricciardo. He'd done all that work to get round the outside of Rosberg, and then Rosberg managed to take him anyway. But anyway, now, Lewis Hamilton, after that start, there wasn't many crashes really. There wasn't any, actually. Not one crash. Like, this is one of the most dangerous first corners, and not one crash. I was hoping at least there'd be one, because, like, if there's a crash, it makes it exciting. I hope it's not with Hamilton at the front, but if there's a crash, it at least makes it a bit exciting, and there was not one crash. Not even in the mid-table. Not one crash. So yeah, that made it a bit boring already. So I knew it was going to be a bit of a boring race, but I had in my mind that Rosberg would catch Hamilton a little bit and at least make it a bit exciting. But once again, when Rosberg's taken, he doesn't manage to challenge. So Hamilton, basically on the super softs, he carried on. He was just gaining an advantage. Then he moved on to the softs, and he didn't actually gain a lot because Rosberg managed to catch him. I'm not sure if that was Hamilton playing mind games or not, but and you never know if that was just Hamilton saving his engine because he does have a limited amount. Yet again, going back to another point, because of the conspiracy theory where Rosberg is paying to win races to gain an advantage in the championship, or Mercedes are doing it on purpose because it's a German team and Rosberg's German. But anyway, I do believe in that. I don't know if a lot of people do believe in the conspiracy, but I just think that they're trying to make it closer so that the end of the season is a bit more exciting than last season where Hamilton just ran away with it. 2014 was arguably the best season we've had in a few years. But as long as Hamilton's champion, I don't mind. But anyway, Hamilton went onto the softs, he didn't gain a lot, jumping from point to point, apologise for that, but anyway, so he didn't gain a lot on the softs. He was complaining that he wasn't getting advantage out of those tyres, but I mean, it would probably be better to go onto the super softs and then the soft. But anyway, the strategy did work out and it ended up quite well for him. Now, one man I do feel sorry for in every race is Jenson Button, and actually Alonso as well, even though it's because they're 2 world champions. It doesn't make sense. 2 world champions, 2, in one of the worst cars. I mean, by now you would have thought McLaren would have sorted it out, Honda would have sorted it out, and there would have been at least top 5 finishing at least 4 or 5 races a season. But they're just terrible. They're so bad. It's unreal how bad they are. Like, Button, he had a problem with his car yet again, and I mean, I feel for him because he is a champion and he shouldn't be in that position, the same as Alonso, but he had a problem. I don't know what it was something to do with his pedal, and they told him not to shift onto the penalty. They told him not to shift, the team did on the team radio, and then the stewards investigated and they gave him a drive-through penalty for the exact same communication as Rosberg did in Silverstone. I don't know how they got different penalties for the same exact communication, but yeah, I mean, Rosberg he would have lost a lot more if he would have got a drive-through penalty in Silverstone. But yeah, yet again, Rosberg favoured, and I mean, the stewards must sit up in their little box, and just sit there going, oh no, we'll give Rosberg a little penalty, as little as possible, just so he doesn't lose as many points. But Button, who's not going to gain anything, will give him a drive-through penalty just to make his life a bit harder. So, I mean, I think that's horrible for Button, but he got a penalty, drive-through penalty, and he came on the radio actually a little later, and he said that it's a safety issue and he shouldn't have got a penalty for it, and it's true. He couldn't brake, which is a safety issue, but the stewards decided to give a penalty. They really need to sort this out, because I like the no communication, because it gives more, the driver needs to do more, but things like that about with the engine problems and stuff, I know Rosberg got a penalty last week for it, but Hamilton and stuff, everyone seems to have a problem and they can't get what's wrong with the car, and it's actually a safety issue, because I mean, if the engine's about to blow up behind them and the team's like, oh no, sorry, can't give you that information, it's a hazard towards their life. So they really need to sort. Verstappen, I said last video that he would, if you haven't watched that, check it out. I said last video that he is an amazing driver, and he is. I'm not going to change that point, but I think he needs to have a look at the rule book, because I'm pretty sure, and I don't even race, that you can't move, you can't swerve twice. If you go for your position to defend your position, you're not allowed to move back. And I saw Verstappen move 3 or 4 times against Raikkonen, which wasn't fair, because Raikkonen could have passed him if he wouldn't have moved so many times, and it ended up hitting his wing and it ruined his race. So Verstappen needs to sort that out. I mean, he is young, he needs to learn, but this is why young drivers, I know he's very good and people will get annoyed by this, but I don't think such a young driver should be racing against more experienced drivers, and I think they should be more experienced before they come into F1. I think there should be an age limit, but anyway, if you're good enough, maybe you can. If you're good enough, you should be there. Why not? But Raikkonen, obviously his strategy worked in a way, but it didn't, because I mean, he lost 27 seconds to Hamilton in the first, I think it was 11 laps. So yet again, Ferrari messing up strategies. I hope Hamilton moves to Ferrari eventually, but hopefully they sort out their strategy maybe they need to sack the strategist, because he's just, I mean, every single race they choose a strategy and it's the wrong one. I mean, I'm happy because at the moment we need Hamilton to gain a lot before Vettel catches up, even though he's 5th now, I think, or 6th in the championship. But yeah, Ferrari need to sort out their strategy. Raikkonen, I don't think he's good enough for Ferrari anymore. Apparently, I've read up, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, I've read up that Hamilton might be moving to Ferrari. I think he's had enough of Mercedes now. He might be moving to Ferrari from Mercedes, but Ferrari have signed him for another year just to keep that window open. I think that's why they did it. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but I've seen that news. I would like to see that happen, but yeah, eventually it will happen. All the good ones do end up in Ferrari eventually. I don't know why, it's just something they do. So yeah, the race overall, a 2 out of 10. I think I've covered all the points I wanted to cover. Hopefully Hamilton continues this form and ends up going further ahead in the championship and gaining a gap in the German Grand Prix next weekend. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please have a look. Subscribe if you're new, it does help me out a lot. It motivates me to continue making these videos for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please like below. If there's anything you would like me to talk further about in my next videos, please comment down below. Any suggestions? I think that's it. So my link to the Facebook page will be below, my Instagram, my Twitter. I don't have Snapchat, so yeah, I think that's it. So please like, subscribe, and peace.